Hi you guys, just making another video. I've now, for my next ride, for my ride, hi guys, just setting up another video for my next ride. I'm using the GoPro, well my one's called DJI Osmo. It's as good as a GoPro. A lot of the snowboarders use this product. And oddly enough, they also use a camera product on the drones in the war in Ukraine and Russia. So it's a very good product. The only problem is with it, it's such a pain to set up. Takes a lot of flapping about if you're not using it week in, week out. I haven't used it for a couple of years now. So the last video I done was on the phone. I really didn't like the quality. Yeah, the quality was really poor. So in my view, so I decided to take the time to invest and sort out the GoPro and set it up for this ride for a cleaner bit of footage. But I can see that the on my phone the image keeps spinning around. I don't know if it's going to keep spinning around in reality when you watch the video, but I'll see. But you'll see why I've taken the time to set it up, because it really comes over nice and clean. I have no idea why this thing's spinning around. I'm going to see if I can change the settings so it doesn't. Yeah, I'm back on the road. I'm back on record. When I'm looking at the phone, the image I'm recording keeps spinning around, but I just checked it. I ended the video and checked it. It's not spinning on the actual video that you're viewing, so it just seems to be spinning around on the phone as the phone's vibrating, so I'm not sure what that's about. But yeah, but I'm not sure if you got what I was saying before. The video footage on this is absolutely brilliant, as you'll see, compared to the phone that I done last time. But it does take a bit of flapping around, messing about, setting it all up. I suppose if you're doing it week in, week out, you're on top of it, but I haven't used this. I actually looked at the last date of the last video I done. I think it was 2020. So 2020 or 2021 or something. So you're talking about 4 or 5 years. But because that video I done for you guys a couple of weeks ago was the quality was disappointing, I thought, you know what, take the time, set up the AUG Osmo and put a really nice video in the family group. So yeah, I didn't ride last week, so the last ride I actually done was the one I recorded for you guys. So yeah, it was too hot last week, so this is my second ride out in 3 weeks. But I might feel it this time because I've missed that week, and when you're doing hill climbs, you really want to get one in a week of your local climb or training route, just to keep you on top of it, because it takes so much out of you if you don't. saw that car coming, so I wasn't sure if I needed to move over a bit more. The other thing is I've got this camera set up on top of my helmet, so I can't just adjust it, but I think I've actually got the right angle on it straight out the back, so that's good. I'm not listening to my music in the background because I'm not sure if it'll come over on the recording, so rather than take a chance, I'll just do a bit of commentary for you guys as I'm going in up to virtual hybrid Islington. It's actually quite nice today because it's a little bit cooler. The sun's out, so it's really nice. Do a little cheat here. Traffic gave me an opportunity to do so. I just saw, I don't know if the camera picked up when I looked over. I hope so. Just saw four black people on the what's it bikes, on the line bikes, getting a ride in. There's a black girl. She comes into the city from Hackney side. I'm not sure if she's on a pro team, but she's got all the kit. She's got a top bike, and she looks like she could be a pro, or at least with a cycling club. This is where I can't get too excited. It's a slight little downhill from Hybrid Islington, and I could really get some good pedal down, really get some great speed on that little down. You won't notice it in the car, but the only thing is you've got to be really intelligent, because every little piece of energy you use, you haven't got for when you get the climb, and when you get the climb, you are absolutely mullered. So that's why you have to really take your time and tap it in, because you're really going to pay the price when you get to Highgate here. I'm just looking down at the phone, so that's why you'll see the image go down and come back up. Oh yeah, it's getting a bit warmer now. Really nice. sure if it's me. What's today? Oh yeah, there's no season yet, is there? Not sure if it's me. I'm sure I see more people in Arsenal shirts since we won the title this season. It's a great sight to see. To the Argos or Holloway Road there. It's a bit tricky this light because you want to stay in the left hand lane but you want to go straight, so because the lights have gone red anyway, it makes it easy because I can pull it to the end. But you have to be really mindful of that junction, and because a lot of car use tossers, you're in that lane and they're trying to bib you when you're going straight. Idiots. Quick drink while I'm waiting. I'm not sure if I leave this video full or if I'll edit some of it to make it shorter. I'm not sure. I'll see how I feel when I review it myself online on YouTube. Even though it takes a lot of time to invest even though it takes a lot of time to invest to watch things, what I tend to do when I'm public transport is watch my little videos, spread the viewing up in 2 or 3 sessions, like 20 minutes a time, instead of just doing the whole hour. But the whole hour is nice because you do get a full, you do get a full feel of the activity. The other thing you may notice with this, it looks like I'm closer to the car than I actually am because of the way the angle it records. It's quite strange. Even though you wouldn't really notice this in the car, Holloway Road, just after the cinema, I think, it literally starts to go uphill. You won't really notice it in the car until you're like maybe, I'm not sure if it's Upper Holloway station there, but on a bike or if you're running, you feel that gradient straight away. There we go. And that bit of like good squeeze past me that way. I know what they're doing. Now I'm as safe as houses. I've got a little friend who lives here. Oftentimes, Margaret, oftentimes when I'm going up or coming back down, I see her on the ring and I pull in a quick chat. Yeah, I can. From here, I can feel gradient change. What I tend to do is stay in my high ratio tog, that's the big cog on the pedals, but drop down to my lower gears on the back wheel on what we call the cassette. Once I get up to Highgate Hill start, I have to go into the lower cog. On the ratio, on the pedal. And where that idiot he was going. I'm sure that people's brain shrinks once they pass their test, and their brain becomes minute because their driving ability becomes so poor compared to when they pass their test. It's the only activity, knowledge and education, that you get, that the more experience you get, the worse you become. Go figure. Even though I poured 3 climbs, I could start that Highgate Hill would be called from here, because you can really feel it. I'm so used now to starting it from just past McDonald's, just before you get to Whittington Hospital. Because this here, actually, to be honest, I could actually climb this in my single speed bike, but I couldn't do Highgate Hill. I'm not sure if I'm strong enough to do Archway in the single speed. That would be interesting. But I couldn't do Highgate, but because I can do the climb on Blackstock at D's, I can climb that in the single speed. I've been quite a lot of the races with the pros, and some of the stages they do, like say 170 kilometers, 108 kilometers or whatever, sometimes you see it where they start the stage and they start on an actual hill climb from 0 kilometer, bang, it's a climb. That must be really challenging, because at least with me, I'm getting, you get I'm getting a couple of Ks, a couple of miles under my belt, warm up before I hit the climb. Also gives you a chance to mentally adjust and dial yourself in. To start, you're right at the bottom of the climb. That must be another challenge in itself. Jesus. I'm getting closer to the climb now. Even though on the camera, you may already see the gradient. But you may have seen it from time actually. We'll see Definitely brilliant. Highgate, coming up through these lights now. Come now to my low ratios because this is where it kicks off. I'm gonna have to stop to do the record on the watch. I normally do it on the device, on the phone, but I'm not messing about with two apps. So I'm stopping here. Start my record of the climb on the watch. And then later on, I log into the app and then I title each climb. And today I know the first climb will be Highgate, the second one will be Archway, and the third one Archway return. So this now, especially in my age group, is where people feel the greatest benefits from getting an e-bike. There we go. Which I've been deliberating whether to go with an e-bike or a top road bike. Well, I say a top road bike, I was talking to Mum about it, and I mentioned when I change my bike and get a decent entry level top bike, you're starting at £3,000 plus, and £3,000 really is basic entry level for those top bikes. And if you want to be stupid, you can go up to 10, but that's just, like I say, that's more for the guys that are more guys, even though that's kind of pro bike money that you see in the tour. I suppose a lot of guys who are part of cycling clubs and do a lot of weekend criteriums, they'll probably invest 10 grand as well. But you've got to be careful with all that, because you can get suckered into all of this purchasing high-end kit for cycling. You've got to be really savvy. But to be fair, this bike is a really decent bike for what it is. Just can't pass the hospital now. Whittington. Should be recording. Can't see the timer. Cheers, buddy. Let's see. There's the timer. I'm not stopping. You have to excuse the silence because it really does take it out of you. temporary lights. See if we can cheat the light. That worked out. Try and regulate my breathing to get it to the end, which is about a minute away. It's basically like a recovery breathing technique. Whether it works out is another thing. a good feeling because that's the hardest climb out of the three. Under the belt. Oh dear. Oh. Oh boy. Oh. Eccentric. Oh. Yeah. Oh. What I'm going to do, transition straight down the hill. Use it as a recovery flow in prep for climbing Archway. I'll just check rear view mirror. Oh. Very nice. It's supposed to be 21, but it feels more like 23. If you got that far in last video, remember hearing me saying that on this one, downhill, I come down on the brakes a lot because just past the lights, and the traffic, but just past the lights, road's a bit bumpy. If I hit a bump and jump, and the bike jumps up, and then I don't land true, I'm in problems. It's from there. It's from get good speed. Very, very early in the morning. And coming down in the middle of the road. It's the smoothest. Take advantage of the speed. But in the daytime, the traffic I don't even go. It's turn. I'm mindful of a fan on my right here. So I'll take a bit of into the cycle lane. In actual fact, what I'll do, I'll get on the pavement and then I'll set my app for the climb on the phone. Because I can't do it in motion, so I'm not using the set my app in for the climb on the watch. I can't do that in motion, where I could do it on the phone because I'm recording. Yeah, so I'd rather leave the recording unintruded and accidentally stop the recording, getting home and realizing I'm not recording anything. And you can't believe how much of a wind up that is. So here's my Archway hill climb. I'm already in my cycle lane. It's quite nice when you get the cycle lanes. You get out of everybody's road and everybody's out of your road, and you do feel much safer. It's a conversation I was having with Jen about how a lot of people don't feel safe on a bike on the roads in London. Even though there's been a great deal of investment in cycle infrastructure in the capital, but nevertheless, it's just the busy nature of drivers in the capital. It's a country as well. Yeah. Well, sorry if I'm looking too much down. Just the best way to get my air on. I've got a camera on my head. So I do apologize. A little bit of a respite once you come under the overhead bridge, famous bridge you all know, the Archway. So here I can, in my state of physical fitness and age group, I use as recovery, but 5 or 6 years ago I would go up the gears and put down some real toe speed. Then again, I need to train solid for about 3 months to get back into that zone, or the best zone I could be for my age. It will take me about 12 months 12 weeks banging in the session every week. I'd give myself an idea. But as I've said to family members, the most important thing is the regularity that you get out there, whatever you do, rather than the extreme of the session. You just need to keep regular workouts, keep the body ticking over, keep the blood flowing, keep building and maintaining muscle density. Mainly exercise that heart and lung with your cardiovascular workouts. Right here, it ramps up again. So I've dropped down because I had come up a couple of years. I think that one, see how I feel. Nice breeze. And it's welcome. Quite impressive because when I'm really not there, I have to drop down to the lowest. I still got 2 gears to go down, and I don't need to go down, so that's quite impressive from a strength and endurance point of view. That said, I don't get my speeds. Breathing feels okay. Lights are green. Well, they were green. I might still cheat it though. All right, I'll cheat. I've cleared the junction. People will be crossing now. Supposed to do a yoga session today as well, so I wanted to get out early, give myself the option. 2 workouts in a day. See how I feel. Just take a bit of the pavement there. It's a bit narrow. There's a junction there in the middle of the road, so rather than have the car squeeze up against me, I just make a bit of pavement. It's pretty quiet. And this one, just pull to the end of the road and gather myself and reset for my downhill. Get a drink in, pull up the bus lane. Ooh. Be done. Oh. 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 Just give myself 10 seconds or so. And then I'll transition downhill and back up this climb, which is what I refer to as Archway hill return climb. It's a lesser gradient. I'm not sure if I mentioned on Highgate past Whittington, that's a 10%. That's generally as hard as anybody would want to do. This climb I would call 8%. There's an app that you can look at these gradients on called Velo Viewer. This one I would call 8%, and with a return coming back is 6. And the funny thing is with the return, I can actually climb that in my high ratios. So, yeah, so that's a good go. All right, so let's have a look. So, save that session. Wait for a gap in the traffic. Go for my downhill. Here we go. This should look a lot better. It's in the one. Right, so I want to go into vibrations. Get the power down. I'm much more confident on this downhill because the road's a lot smoother. I mentioned in the last one, sometimes the cars don't realise how quick I'm coming down when I'm going past them if they're going a bit slow. So now, get straight over. So I'll get to the other side, stop, and then set my watch for the climb. Ooh. Okay. So I'm going to stay in high ratio. That's the bigger cog on the pedals. Yeah, I've got 2 cogs on the pedals, high and low ratio. But I'm going to drop my gears on the back wheel to get up to try and stay in high ratio. Ooh. I tend to get some. I used to be able to maintain it. I'm not sure if it's about 12 or 13 miles up this, but then I'd blow up just before I got to the top. I did try to measure it, say at 12 miles an hour, without blowing up. Call it a semi-time, a mini time trial. Cycle lane ending soon, but the road width is the same, so you have to watch your cars because they do try to double themselves up. Some are turning left to go to Muswell Hill and such like, and others are going straight on. Right, so that cycle lane's gone. Look in my rear view mirror, a couple of cars getting a bit further back. I'll show you the point where I used to blow up if I'm trying to maintain 13 miles an hour. just here, and we go bang. Oh, look a bit of pavement here because the cars are dotted up. And there's no one on the pavement, so I'm cool. And then I'll stop. Let's see them come off. And I'll stop. And I'll stop that recording of the return. Stop there. Get that little tight. Okay. So that. Another drink of my bottle. And here, I've got a nice little cruise downhill in a better state of fitness. I'm powered down here and then try to save a little bit of reserve because there is a slight kick up and then it jumps back down again. And that jump back down is the steepest downhill path. So I get some good value out of that. So
Yes, video there.
traffic's gone against me, so I'll have to give everyone time to go. Okay. So that's the hardest part of my endurance done. And then cruising it. It allows me to recover, gather myself. It's up again here, but it's not overly savage. But sometimes when I'm coming down at pace, I then try to maintain that pace on the kick-up. I'll blow at the top, but then I'm cruising down again. So it's, get cracking. That's the way. I'll get some of the aero from this bus. I'll get a load of aero from this bus. It's got to be mindful of the slopes. That was a fantastic bit of flow down there, which I wasn't expecting. I was in the aero of the bus, and that's when you see some of the cyclists on the pros racing, and they've got someone in the front taking the wind in the face, and it creates an air bubble for the rider behind. Rider behind saves they reckon about 30% of energy, and that's a lot of a bike. The aero I got from that bus was so huge, it literally launched me past the bus. I can't explain, but you then got an opportunity there to see what I'm talking about. It is insane. So here, I've got a downhill on Holloway Road. That woman's coming over, as soon as that woman. So I'm going to go behind it. Out. Even though this is downhill, I can't help myself. I take the momentum and get some speed down here to the blow up as we want to get to just after Holloway Road. But the acceleration, yeah, back again. Lost connection. Reconnected. I'm landing gear because in such a high gear. Down the hill. Into Holloway Road, yeah, just tap it in. Yeah, so that's the thing with this device. The actual video footage is absolutely brilliant, but it messes about, loses connection, and the phone's spinning. What I can see spinning, but the recording is not spinning, but it looks like it is because it keeps auto rotating 180 degrees, and then it goes 180 degrees back again. So it looks like it's upside down, then it's back to normal. So it drives me absolutely insane. So I don't need to make